Every day, thousands of German farms produce mountains of manure, crop residues, discarded food, and organic wastewater. What once represented a costly environmental problem now feeds enormous tanks capable of generating electricity, heating, and renewable gas. Germany has transformed agricultural waste into the fuel for a gigantic energy industry. The origins of biogas production lie in the daily activities of livestock farms, agricultural fields, food processing plants, and wastewater treatment facilities. Germany has a highly mechanized livestock sector. On modern dairy farms, hundreds of cows are kept in barns equipped with resting areas, ventilation systems, automatic waterers, and walkways designed to continuously collect manure. An adult cow can produce several tens of kilograms of excrement per day. On a farm with 500 animals, the accumulated amount can easily exceed 10 tons daily. This volume is supplemented by the water used to clean the barns, leftover feed, bedding straw, and other organic materials. Instead of allowing this mixture to remain exposed to the open air, many German farms channel it through ditches, pipes, and pumps to intermediate storage tanks. There, the preparation of the raw material begins. Solid manure is separated from unwanted materials, while liquid slurry is stored in sealed tanks. Depending on the plant design, corn scraps, straw, cut grass, beet waste, food industry byproducts, discarded fruit or expired food can also be added. Each material has different characteristics. Manure contains a high proportion of water and microorganisms, but generates less gas per ton than some plant residues. Crop residues contain higher amounts of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, which can increase methane production. Operators combine the different residues to achieve a stable mixture. If the material is too dry, it is difficult to pump. If it contains too much water, it occupies a large volume and reduces the digester's productivity. Acidity, nutrient concentration, and the presence of substances that can harm microorganisms must also be controlled. Industrial shredders reduce plant residues to uniform sizes. High-powered mixers prevent fibers from accumulating. Special pumps transport a thick, abrasive, and particle-laden mass to the heart of the facility. That heart is the anaerobic digester. German digesters are typically cylindrical tanks made of concrete or steel with volumes of thousands of cubic meters. Their walls are insulated to retain heat, and their roofs can function as flexible reservoirs where the gas accumulates. When the mixture enters the tank, it becomes isolated from oxygen. From that moment on, anaerobic digestion begins, a biological process similar to that which occurs in swamps, sediments, and the digestive systems of some animals. The transformation occurs in several stages. First comes hydrolysis. In this phase, different microorganisms break down complex molecules such as fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Large compounds are converted into simple sugars, amino acids, and fatty acids. Next, acidogenesis begins. Other bacterial communities consume these molecules and generate organic acids, alcohols, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and various intermediate compounds. During acetogenesis, the previous products are transformed primarily into acetic acid, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. Finally, methanogenesis occurs. Specialized microorganisms, known as methanogenic archaea, use these compounds to produce methane. The balance between all these populations is crucial. A sudden increase in acidity can reduce the activity of the archaea. A drop in temperature slows down the reactions. Overfeeding can saturate the system, while insufficient mixing allows crusts and sediment to form. For this reason, the digester functions like a huge industrial stomach monitored around the clock. Electronic sensors measure temperature, liquid level, gas pressure, acidity, and chemical composition. Motors drive submerged agitators that keep the material in motion. Automatic systems regulate the intake of waste and adjust the amount of material added. Many plants operate under mesophilic conditions, around 35 or 40 degrees Celsius. Others use higher temperatures to accelerate decomposition. Some of the heat produced by the facility itself keeps the digester warm even during German winters. The material remains inside for several weeks. As digestion progresses, small bubbles rise to the top. The gas accumulates under a flexible membrane that slowly expands, turning the tank's roof into a giant reservoir. The newly produced biogas typically contains a high proportion of methane, along with carbon dioxide, water vapor, hydrogen sulfide, and small amounts of other compounds. At this stage, it is still corrosive and requires treatment before entering energy-generating equipment. Moisture is removed using cooling and condensation systems. Biological filters, activated carbon, or other materials retain the hydrogen sulfide. Regulators stabilize the pressure, and analyzers constantly monitor the methane concentration. After passing through these stages, the agricultural waste ceases to be a problematic mass. It becomes a controlled fuel, stored and ready to produce energy. Once cleaned and stabilized, biogas can be processed in several ways. The most common method during the development of German industry involves sending it to a cogeneration unit. These units house large internal combustion engines similar to those used in some industrial generators. Methane enters the cylinders, mixes with air, and burns. The expanding gases push the pistons, turn the crankshaft, and drive an electric generator. The electricity produced initially powers the plant's pumps, mixers, controls, and other equipment. Any surplus is fed into the electrical grid and can supply homes, workshops, agricultural facilities, or small communities. The most important characteristic of biogas is its storage capacity. Solar energy depends on available radiation, and wind turbines depend on wind. The gas generated in digesters can be stored for a certain period and used when electricity demand increases. The most modern plants adjust the operation of their engines according to the needs of the grid. During periods of high solar or wind power production, they store some of the gas. When renewable generation decreases or consumption increases, they start the engines and deliver electricity. This flexibility transforms biogas into a complementary tool for an electrical system with large amounts of variable energy. The process also generates heat. The engines reach high temperatures and require cooling systems. In a conventional installation, this thermal energy would be lost to the environment. In cogeneration plants, it is recovered using heat exchangers. Some of the heat maintains the temperature of the digesters. The rest can be used to heat stables, dry grain, produce hot water, heat greenhouses, or supply local heating networks. Some rural communities have pipelines connecting the biogas plant to homes, schools, municipal buildings, and small industries. In this way, the manure generated by a farm ends up providing heating to nearby communities during the colder months. Another possibility is to upgrade the biogas to biomethane. Raw gas contains a significant proportion of carbon dioxide. To achieve a quality similar to that of natural gas, it must pass through equipment capable of separating both components. Technologies exist based on membranes, water scrubbing, chemical absorption, or pressure changes. After treatment, the methane concentration increases considerably. The gas is compressed, analyzed, and adjusted to meet network specifications. From that point, it can be injected into the same pipelines used to transport natural gas. Biomethane is used for heating, industrial processes, electricity generation, or as vehicle fuel. Trucks, buses, and agricultural machinery can run on compressed or liquefied gas derived from organic waste. Utilization continues even after the biogas is extracted. The material that comes out of the digester is called digestate. Although it has lost some of its energy content, it still contains nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and organic matter. For this reason, it can be used as fertilizer. Mechanical separators divide the digestate into a solid and a liquid fraction. The solid part can be composted, dried, or used as bedding material for livestock. The liquid fraction is stored in tanks and later applied to the fields. Digestion modifies some characteristics of the manure. It reduces the amount of easily degradable organic compounds, decreases some of the odors, and transforms nutrients into forms that plants can absorb more quickly. Management still requires rigorous controls. Excessive application can lead to nitrogen loss, groundwater contamination, and nutrient buildup. Farms must calculate the doses, respect the authorized seasons, and have sufficient arable land. When the system works correctly, it forms a nearly closed loop. Crops feed the animals. The animals produce manure. The manure generates biogas. The biogas produces electricity and heat. The digestate fertilizes the fields where crops will grow again. This model also provides additional income for rural farms. Farmers can sell electricity, heat, biomethane, or waste treatment services. Many facilities receive materials from food factories, supermarkets, restaurants, and municipalities which pay to manage their organic waste. A complete economic chain develops around the plants. Drivers transport waste and digestate. Mechanical companies maintain pumps and motors. Laboratories analyze the raw materials. Technicians monitor sensors, pipes, generators, and purification systems. The growth of this German industry was closely linked to energy policies. The Renewable Energy Act created support mechanisms that guaranteed the purchase of renewable electricity under favorable conditions. This stability allowed thousands of farmers to apply for loans and invest in digesters, generators, and thermal networks. The plants ceased to be simple treatment facilities. They became small power plants distributed throughout the country. Germany eventually had several thousand biogas plants, ranging from small livestock digesters to complexes capable of processing waste from numerous municipalities. Together, they form a decentralized infrastructure connected to agriculture, waste management, and the national energy system. The success of German biogas also had unforeseen consequences. When plants began receiving attractive electricity rates, the demand for feedstocks capable of producing large quantities of methane grew rapidly. Manure is plentiful, but it contains a lot of water and offers only moderate energy yields. In contrast, corn silage generates a higher and more predictable gas production. Corn can be grown on a large scale, harvested by machine, ground, and stored for months in silos. Its composition facilitates digestion and allows for stable tank operation. These technical advantages spurred the expansion of so-called energy crops. In some regions, large areas of farmland began to be used to feed digesters instead of producing food or animal feed. This change altered the rural landscape. Diverse fields were replaced by extensive plantations of a single crop. The continuous repetition of corn increased pressure on the soil, exacerbated erosion in certain areas, and reduced the space available for insects, birds, and wild vegetation. Competition for land also drove up the prices of farm leases. Plants with energy revenues could pay higher amounts for the plots, making it difficult for producers dedicated exclusively to food to access them. A paradox then emerged. A technology designed to utilize waste began to depend partially on specially cultivated crops to generate gas. The climate balance also varies depending on how biogas is produced and used. Capturing methane from manure offers a significant advantage, as it prevents some of it from escaping directly into the atmosphere. Methane has a strong warming effect, so preventing its emissions can considerably improve the environmental impact. However, any leaks in pipes, valves, tanks, or engines reduce this benefit. Even small losses become significant when multiplied across thousands of installations. Energy crop production requires tractors, fertilizers, transportation, storage, and harvesting machinery. All of these activities consume energy and generate emissions. The analysis must consider the entire system, from the field to the engine. Economic difficulties also arise. Many plants built during the early years of expansion relied on contracts and guaranteed rates. As these programs expire, owners must find new ways to operate profitably. Engines age, membranes need replacing, and digesters require maintenance. Adapting a plant to produce biomethane can demand expensive equipment. Smaller facilities have greater difficulty making such investments. For this reason, the future of German industry seems to be geared toward modernizing existing plants and making more efficient use of waste. New strategies aim to reduce reliance on corn and increase the use of manure, slurry, straw, crop residues, food waste, and industrial byproducts. These materials already exist as a result of other activities. Converting them into gas avoids some of the environmental costs associated with growing biomass exclusively for energy. Plants can also operate more flexibly. Instead of producing electricity continuously, they store gas and activate generators during periods of peak demand. This operation allows them to complement wind and solar power and improve the value of each cubic meter of biogas. Another line of development involves expanding rural heating networks. Utilizing all the heat from the engines significantly improves overall efficiency. A plant that only sells electricity wastes a considerable portion of the energy contained in the gas. Biomethane production is also gaining importance. Germany has an extensive gas infrastructure that can be used to store and transport renewable fuel. Biomethane can be used in sectors where direct electrification is more complex, such as certain industrial processes or heavy transport. Small livestock farms represent another opportunity. A digester adapted to the size of a farm can capture methane from manure, cover part of the electricity consumption, produce hot water, and generate fertilizer. These systems require simple designs, controlled costs, and less red tape. Their main objective is to treat waste and reduce emissions, rather than compete with large power plants. Digitalization is also transforming the sector. New sensors analyze the gas composition in real time. Software programs automatically adjust the feed. Thermal cameras detect leaks, and drones inspect digester roofs. Predictive models can identify changes in biological activity before production declines. This information allows for better waste dosing, reduced failures, and extended equipment lifespan. Emissions controls will become increasingly stringent. Covering digestate storage facilities, inspecting pipelines, and recovering waste gas are essential to ensuring that the energy produced retains a true climate advantage. The combination of biogas with other technologies is also being studied. The carbon dioxide separated during biomethane production can be captured and used in greenhouses, industrial processes, or the production of synthetic fuels. Renewable hydrogen can react with this carbon dioxide to produce additional methane. This reaction allows for the storage of surplus wind and solar electricity as gas, utilizing some of the existing infrastructure. Some plants integrate composting systems, the production of concentrated fertilizers, and nutrient recovery. Nitrogen and phosphorus are separated from the digestate and converted into products that are easier to transport. In this way, a biogas facility evolves into a rural biorefinery. It receives organic waste and delivers electricity, heat, renewable gas, fertilizers, and recovered materials. The German model demonstrates that agricultural waste can be transformed into a large-scale energy source. Its development also confirms that the technology requires limits, planning, and constant monitoring. The true strength of biogas emerges when it utilizes unavoidable materials, captures emissions that would otherwise escape into the environment, and returns nutrients to agriculture. Its effectiveness decreases when it requires extensive monocultures, long transport routes, or leaky systems. In the coming decades, Germany will have to decide what role this industry will play in its energy transition. The goal is no longer simply to build more digesters. The priority will be to ensure that each plant uses better waste, captures more heat, loses less methane, and responds more precisely to the needs of the grid. On thousands of farms, the process will continue to begin the same way. Manure will fall onto the walkways of the barns. Pumps will direct it into sealed tanks. Microorganisms will silently decompose the matter. The gas will accumulate under enormous membranes and eventually power engines, heat homes, or flow through a pipeline. What for centuries was considered an unavoidable waste product has become an energy raw material. Germany has built around it an industry capable of connecting agriculture with electricity, heating, transportation, and waste management. The future of that industry will depend on its ability to preserve the idea that gave rise to it, producing energy using what already exists, recovering nutrients, and closing a cycle that begins in the field and returns to the earth.